Welcome to our channel, where we delve into the most fascinating and sometimes alarming developments in science and technology. Today, we're discussing a topic that seems ripped straight from the pages of a science fiction novel, yet is playing out in the real world: the first space war. How did we get here? What are the implications, and what might the future hold? Stick around to find out. In recent years, the concept of war has expanded beyond land, sea, and air to include a new frontier: space. Space War I, as it's being called, has been unfolding over the past 2 years. Unlike the epic space battles depicted in Hollywood movies, this war is fought silently and invisibly, involving satellites and sophisticated technology. The stakes are incredibly high, and the outcomes could reshape our world in ways we can scarcely imagine. Space has always been a domain of wonder and potential, from the first human footsteps on the moon to the deployment of satellites that connect and inform our world. However, it's also become a strategic military frontier. The conflict between Ukraine and Russia has demonstrated just how crucial space assets are in modern warfare. Satellites are being used to collect imagery, identify military targets, and facilitate communications, making them invaluable in the theater of war. David Ignatius, a renowned journalist and spy thriller novelist, was among the first to recognize the significance of this new type of warfare. As I looked at Ukraine in the early months, it was obvious to me. This is the first space war, he explains. Ignatius's insights are grounded in his extensive experience in international affairs and his ability to weave real-world events into compelling narratives. In a recent episode of the Fiction Science podcast, Ignatius explores the national security threats posed by satellite-based warfare. His new novel, Phantom Orbit, envisions a scenario where Space War I escalates into a potentially catastrophic Space War II. While Ignatius hesitates to label his work as science fiction, the scenarios he describes are based on real-world possibilities. Phantom Orbit is not just a thrilling read, it's a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities we face. Ignatius's reporting for this novel began in 2017, inspired by discussions around the creation of the U.S. Space Force. He initially planned to center his story around a Russian satellite researcher, with a research trip to Russia in the works. However, the outbreak of war in Ukraine in February 2022 altered his plans dramatically. Ignatius's novel incorporates real-life events from the Ukraine conflict, such as Russia's jamming of Viasat's satellite internet network and SpaceX's Starlink stepping in to aid Ukraine. These developments highlight how commercial satellite systems have become pivotal in modern warfare. Ignatius also describes how commercial satellite imagery has enhanced Ukraine's battlefield awareness, giving them a critical edge. In response to these advancements, Russia has escalated its space-based operations. They have interfered with Starlink, scrambled satellite navigation systems, and camouflaged military assets to evade satellite sensors. Ignatius warns that if Space War I heats up further, Russia might take steps to bring down entire satellite constellations. This could have devastating consequences, creating space debris fields that would jeopardize all space operations. For more than 2 decades, policymakers have warned of the potential for a Space Pearl Harbor, a sudden and crippling attack on America's orbital assets. Ignatius cites U.S. Rep. Mike Turner's warning about the possibility of Russia using nuclear weapons in space. Such an attack could destroy satellites and create an electromagnetic pulse, severely disrupting electronic systems on Earth. So, what can be done to mitigate these risks? Ignatius emphasizes the need to harden our existing space systems against potential threats. The U.S. Space Force is already working towards this goal, developing more resilient and replaceable satellite networks. Their Tactically Responsive Space Initiative is a significant step in this direction, demonstrating how commercial ventures can support military operations by rapidly deploying new assets into space. One of the successful missions under this initiative was Victus Nox, conducted with Firefly Aerospace and Millennium Space Systems. Another demonstration, Victus Haze, is being prepared by Rocket Lab and True Anomaly. In total, a dozen commercial launch providers are on the Space Force's list for future rapid response satellite missions. These efforts ensure that the U.S. can quickly replace lost or damaged satellites, maintaining its operational capabilities in space. The Space Force is also supporting innovative new space station architectures, such as those being developed by Gravitix, a Seattle-area startup. Additionally, maintaining space domain awareness, keeping track of all activities and assets in orbit, is crucial for national security. Companies like True Anomaly, Starfish Space, and Northrop Grumman's Space Logistics are working on spacecraft that can approach other satellites to inspect, refuel, or safely deorbit them. In the Fiction Science podcast, Ignatius hints at even more groundbreaking innovations on the horizon. I was just hearing about a company that's going to radically change the way space and other big weapon systems are built, he says. Although he doesn't reveal the company's name, we speculate it might be Anduril, a defense tech startup known for its cutting-edge technologies. So, what does this mean for the future of space warfare in our daily lives? As space becomes a more contested domain, the importance of resilience, innovation, and preparedness cannot be overstated. The advancements we're seeing today are just the beginning. The strategies and technologies developed now will shape the security landscape for decades to come. Despite the threats, space remains a domain of immense potential and hope. It's a place where humanity's greatest achievements have unfolded and where future breakthroughs will undoubtedly occur. From scientific discoveries to the potential for human settlement on other planets, space continues to inspire and challenge us. As we navigate these challenges, it's essential to stay informed and engaged. The developments in space warfare are complex and evolving rapidly. By understanding these issues, we can better appreciate the work being done to protect our space assets and ensure a safe and prosperous future for all. Now, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the current state of space warfare? Are we doing enough to protect our assets in space? What innovations do you think will shape the future of space security? Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Let's start a conversation and explore these critical issues together. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating content on space and technology. Until next time, keep looking up and stay curious.